What's going on, guys? Back at CSA, back to training, back at the home gym. Everything's feeling good this week. It took a couple days to get back into the swing of things, get on my routine, get my weight back up. But now that I have done that, everything's feeling really good. Sitting at about 9 days from our meet. Me and Jesse are doing on October 10th up in Portland. Chris Duffin's place, so really looking forward to the meet. I'll be doing 242 and Jesse will be doing 275 weight class. Just kind of wanted to touch on a little bit about the mental state, mental positive talk, negative talk, things of that nature that can really dictate and really determine how you feel about yourself and how you perceive things in your life. A lot of times I have a lot of clients, they'll email me, if they had a rough week or something, and a bunch of the sentences are just them beating themselves up, berating themselves, and saying how bad they feel. You see that a lot in figure and bikini. A lot of self-image problems, a lot of issues with rebounds and things of that nature. And the biggest thing I can say is, positive self-talk and learning to cope with the stressors of being okay with being a little bit big at times and then being skinnier at times. There's two ways of looking at it. You're going to be skinny and your clothes don't fit, or you're going to be big and they're going to be too tight. And you got to understand that these two different phases both have positive outcomes for you if you're sticking to your plan. And even if you don't stick to your plan, that's no excuse to start beating yourself up. Because then you're going to continue to fall back on the emotional stuff of feeling self-negative, feeling self-doubt, and typically when people tend to fall on emotions, they'll tend to eat or they'll tend to do bad things to their body, and that's really not something that you want, because it's just an escalating situation that continues and continues to play on itself. So you want to, if you make a mistake, that's fine. Own up to it. Don't do it again. Tell yourself that it's okay, and then move forward. And then along the other lines is, if you're training and your training's not going well and you have a bad day, don't start to have self-doubt of, the meet's not going to go well, I'm not going to do good. And if you compound that week to week, what's going to happen? You're going to start chasing numbers, you're going to start missing reps, you'll get hurt, or you're going to have a shitty meet. And the same thing goes with getting ready for shows. If you continue to tell yourself how bad you look, you're going to start to believe that. And then if you start to believe that, then you'll raise cortisol levels, you'll have a bunch of stress, and then your body will work against you 10 times harder than it was if you were just a little bit more positive about everything. Know that you have a plan set in place, and it's going to take care of itself as long as you don't stress about it and you trust your coach. Which will lead me to my next topic on my next video, is shitty prep coaches and shitty coaches in general. But having a good self-positive mental state when it comes to things like cutting weight for meets, or getting ready for a show, or off season when you put on a little bit of weight, you have to understand that that's all part of the game. I have a client who is doing a weight cut, and I think 3 weeks into it, he emailed me and said that he was feeling flat. He's a power lifter, so he went out and had a cheat meal. And it's one of those things where if you tell yourself that, there's no way he was feeling flat. One, he's a power lifter, so clearly he's not anywhere near dieted to that level of feeling flat. But two, you're giving yourself excuses and giving yourself reasons to deviate from the plan. And typically for him, he was able to get back on track. But typically what I see is people deviate, and then they'll continue to do that through guilt or through different types of associations felt with cheating on your diet. They'll either A, not contact me for a while, or B, continue on a downward trend of binge eating for a week or two, and then finally get to the point where they're so sick of it that they start back over. It's a horrible perpetuating cycle. And I can honestly say, through dealing with the hundreds of clients that I've dealt with, the best way to deal with things like that is to always be positive, trust the process, and enjoy the process. If you're doing this to prove something to someone or to try to be the best with external stimulus, with external reward, then you're always going to be let down. You got to do this from within. You got to want to make these changes to your body. If you're just going to do a show just so you can post on Instagram and have people tell you how good you look, that shit's not going to last very long. It has to be something within you that makes you want to do stuff to better yourself, to face the challenges, and to learn how to be a little bit more mentally tough. Throughout the Marines, we were trained to be mentally tougher, through various exercises and various things. And um, learning those things has made it a lot easier to cope with, the stressors of life, whether it be business, whether it be family, whether it be training, whether it be nutrition, whatever it is. Finding little things to make you mentally tougher is going to go a long way as well. So looking into some of the still fit type stuff, or looking into some of the things for mental toughness and positive self-talk through psychology, and just kind of reading up on that and just staying positive will go a long way within your life, within your career, and you'll see a lot more positive outlook on things, and it'll only carry over to having better and better, training cycles, better and better relationships, things of that nature. So try not to be so down on yourself, but don't be so weak-minded that you're gonna give up at any inclination of hardship. If that's the case, then you probably are in the wrong sport, or you're doing it for the wrong reasons, or you just need to get a little bit tougher. So check out some of those books on mental toughness and positive self-talk, and see if that stuff helps you out. And if you guys have any good recommendations on books, make sure you leave them below in the comments, and see if you can help some other people out with this stuff as well, because it's pretty prevalent within the bodybuilding, powerlifting, and just general life community. So hopefully this helps out a little bit. Stay positive and enjoy the process is the best thing I can ever tell anybody. Until next time, guys, take care.